And on that note, what I'd like to do is introduce Minister Chiba, who late last night we found out was going to come, and we're very appreciative. Minister Chiba has an extraordinary career. I consider him to be a very young man compared to me, and we relate this because, I can relate to this because he followed me at Berkeley by a considerable number of years. So we're both students of Professor Scalapino. I'm of a little different and older generation than he is, but he has a tremendous career already. Minister Chiba, if we could give you the floor here just for a moment. Please come.
Thank you, President Ellings, Congressman Larsen. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for giving the Japanese Embassy an opportunity to address to you this morning. Ambassador Fujisaki sends his apologies for not being able to make it at the last moment. He has not been the master of his own schedule for about 20 days now. Last Sunday, he was at Dulles International Airport receiving the return of the family of Taylor Anderson, an English teacher from Richmond, who, on the day the quake came, courageously helped evacuate her students, but herself lost in the waves of the tsunami. But most of the time, Ambassador Fujisaki spends, as he is doing now, in close consultation with the United States government, without the help of which we could not have been able to pull ourselves through the initial days of difficulty. Prime Minister Naoto Kan of Japan issued a message of appreciation to international assistance on March 23rd. And in this message, the first entity he mentioned was the American forces in Japan, and that not without reason, because it is because of the courage and commitment of men and women of the American forces that enabled the evacuees to be spotted, to be rescued and reunited with friends and families, and now being provided with adequate nourishment and water so that they can survive, so that they can once again look forward to a tomorrow. And among these 20,000 men and women of the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines is the father of one of my son's best friends in his track and field team in Maryland, a Navy officer who was transferred to Yokosuka shortly after Christmas last year. He is on the ground, and he keeps us updated of the situation, which remains very, very dire. But the more I learn about the situation, the more I am thankful not only to the men in service, but to civilians, to the American citizens who have shown that they care, who have donated 120 million US dollars to my people through the American Red Cross, which was reported to Ambassador Fujisaki yesterday. Ambassador Fujisaki instructed me to make one promise to you, the promise that we will be back. Japan will be back, but not without your continued support. And when the day comes when we are once again back on our feet, in a matter of months, probably years, but when we are back on our feet, once again, we will remember how we managed to do that. We will never forget the support and solidarity that you have extended to my people and my country. Thank you very much.
I think we should have a moment of silence for the victims of the earthquake and tsunami. we all have so many friends in Japan. One of the things that NBR does is run something called the Japan Forum, in which people from 25 countries are involved in a discussion. It's the main international forum, email forum, in which people discuss issues in Japan and in Japan's foreign relations and in U.S.-Japan relations. The outpouring, the concerns, and I've received so many appreciated notes, by the way, through there, and personal notes about people who have made it through, old friends of mine going back 40 years. I don't admit how old I am, but in any case, decades. And so in any case, it is so meaningful. Your comments are so meaningful. And for those people in this room, so personal, because we all have wonderful friendships. And not to mention the historic, tremendous deepening of relations between the two countries. I think it's one of the most remarkable developments in international history. Our relationship, it has developed since World War II. It has been spectacular. And this just shows, I think, Minister Chiba's comments reflected this unbelievable progress.